Hi everyone, this is Jan, and today I'm going to show you how you can take a file embroidery design that you have done in My Design Center, an applique design, and you can take it to your scan and cut, and then you can go ahead and cut out your applique fabric file before you do your embroidery stitch out. So the first thing we need to do is we need to put a USB stick in our machine over here. Now I have a blank one. I have one that I use just for the scan and cut. So I use that all the time, and that's the only files that are on that. So you'd put your USB into your machine here so that you can put your file on it to take it to your scan and cut. So you would go ahead and click on embroidery right here. Then you're going to go to the embroidery machine down here, right here. Click that. Now when we did these, it should be saved to the embroidery machine. And when they're saved, when you finish your design, completely finish it, and before you embroider it, there's a key there that says memory, and I usually have you save it into memory, and Gloria does that too. So these are the files that I saved because I did it 3 different times. So you want to go to this file here that you saved it in, okay? So I'm going to go in this one here, the middle one, and then you're going to click on Set down here, and then you're going to look at your colors here. And I know that the dark tangerine color is the satin stitch. So the one up above it must be the tack down line for your fabric. So I'm going to go to that color. So I'm going to touch the gold color here. And you can see up in the window here it has the outline of the clover. So I know that's my tack down line for the clover, so I have the right one. Okay, now what you're going to do is you have an arrow down button here, and you want to click on that, and it brings you to the bottom part of your colors. And what I want to do is make this application a cut file. So this key right here has a pair of scissors on it. You touch that, and that is going to make that, see, it changed it, and it says applique material. Okay, and then you push OK. And you can see up here in your screen now that it says it's applique material. Okay, and then you're going to save this, so you're going to touch memory. You're going to save it to your USB, which is right here, and it put it in your USB file. Now, if I go to my USB stick, so let's go out of this. Okay, now if I go to embroidery and I go to my USB stick right here, go to my B pocket, you're going to see that I have 2 files in here because I filmed one of the files this morning, and then I just put another file in there so I could do this video and show you how to put it on your USB. Okay, so it has your PHX files that you put on there, so it's saved to my USB. And what I will do now is I will take this USB and I will plug it into my Scan and Cut so that I can do a cut file. Here's your cut file right here. I just got through doing it. And whenever you do your applique, see, here's your applique. So whenever, let's turn the light on. So whenever you do your applique, you will do your tack down line, and then you already have your applique piece cut out, and you would place it, you'd match it up to your placement line, and it has heat and bond on the back of it, and you would go ahead and iron it. I would use a little clover iron, the real tiny ones. I keep it next to my sewing machine here when I know I'm going to be doing this, and I use that to iron it down once you've placed it. And once you iron it down, then the next stitch is your satin stitch, and then you don't have to cut all around your applique design. You let your Scan and Cut do it. So get those Scan and Cuts out, get them out of the box, learn how to use them, and this is the easiest way to learn how to use your Scan and Cut if you want to use it in conjunction with applique files. And you do the same thing if you had it's a different process if you are using somebody else's design that's a PES design. You have to go through different steps. It won't be the same steps as we are doing now. So whenever I do another applique and it's a PES, I'll have to show you how to pull that file up and cut that on your Scan and Cut. But you can go on YouTube. There's a lot of YouTube videos that will show you exactly how to do that. I wanted to show you how, once you do your design in your embroidery machine, how you could take that saved file and go do your Scan and Cut, come back and sew out the rest of your design. To me, that's easier than changing it from a PES file. And you do this, I like this method because you don't have to have software to do it. So that's what makes it so easy. Okay, that's all there is to this little clip, and go ahead and finish out this video and see how you cut it out on your Scan and Cut. Okay, hope you use those Scan and Cuts because they're really marvelous. All right, bye for now, and I hope you enjoyed this video. So what you see here is your fabric. I've applied Heat and Bond Light to it, and I have put it fabric side down. The Heat and Bond is up, and I have it covering my whole mat, which is a 12 by 12 piece of fabric. And I've also adhered it using this little brayer tool. It's a little roller that you get, and it helps get all the air bubbles out of your fabric so that your fabric is nice and flat on your mat surface for it to cut. Now you can see the cut file right here, so to save time I went ahead and cut it, but I'm going to show you how to load it in to your Scan and Cut and go ahead and cut it, and I'll show you how it comes out as soon as I show you how to cut it. But I have the Brother fabric mat down here. This is the gold mat, and I also have it to where I'm going to load it into the Scan and Cut, and you'll notice you'll see little arrows up here. The arrow's going to go into your Scan and Cut, and the bottom here it says Brother, and then right here it says fabric mat. Okay, when you first get these fabric mats, they're really sticky, Mine has been used quite a bit, so it's not quite as sticky. So I had to make sure I use the brayer on it before I put it into the scan and cut. So that's the prep you're going to do. You're going to first iron your fabric. You're going to put it face down, pretty side down. Then you're going to iron your heat and bond light on it. It only takes a couple of seconds on each area to bond it to your fabric. You're going to bring your fabric over and you're going to put it on your mat pretty side down, paper side up. Use your brayer. Use the brayer to roll it out. Use your hands first and then use your brayer so that it's nice and flat on there so that your scan and cut can cut nice and even on that. Okay, so that's how you prepare your mat to go into your scan and cut. Okay everyone, I'm at the scan and cut. I have inserted my USB into the scan and cut. I have also turned my machine on. I have pushed the button here to turn it on. It is on, and I am going to load my mat before I do anything else. So I'm going to push this button here. I'm going to lay my mat down here. You just want to make sure that you insert it with the arrows going up. You insert it in between your two grooves there, and then I'm going to push the mat loader. It will go in for a little bit and then it will come back out, and the mat is loaded now. The next thing we want to do is we want to retrieve the data. So we're going to push retrieve data down here, and we are on a USB stick, so let's touch the USB stick. And the next thing you want is the B pocket. Okay, now this is our PHX files that we have on our USB stick, so choose the one you need. And to pull up that cut file, we need to touch the shield right here. And there's our cut file right there. So then we go ahead and push OK. This tells the width and height. If you needed to make any other adjustments, you do it in this screen, and you go ahead and push set. Okay, now on this screen, what I want to do is load this mat in, because I want a photo of where my fabric is so I can move my cut file where my fabric is. So let's go ahead and load our file. Push that button, push start. Then it go ahead and the file comes, the mat comes back out. Okay, and there is a picture of your fabric that is on your mat. So now what you can do is you can move your cut file, just touch the screen, and you can move it where your fabric is. Okay, so once you have it moved where you want it, then you just go ahead and push OK. Alright, I'm going to go back one step, so I'm going to push the little back button. Okay, now I want to go into edit. I need to flip this file because we put our fabric face down. So let's go into edit, object edit, And I want to click this button here to flip my file because we turned it, our fabric, face side down. So I have to flip it. So click OK. OK. OK again. And now it's asking me, what do I want to do? I want to cut this. So I push please select. And then I push cut. Okay. Now before you cut this file, it's going to take 11 minutes to cut this file with this rotary cutter on. So it takes longer with the rotary cutter than it would with a blade cutter. So a lot of people would run a test first. I don't run the test first because I've done plenty of cutting, and I just, it's just a waste of time for me. So what you would do is go ahead and push your start button, and you would go ahead and let it cut out. Now once it's cut out, then what you're going to do is you'll go ahead and push your mat button. It does all the cutting, and once it's done, then you would go ahead and push your mat button here to eject the mat back out. Okay, so if I go ahead, say it's finished cutting, then I would go ahead and push this mat button here, and it ejects my mat out. Okay, and then we would go ahead and lift off our design for once it's cut. So my file is right here, and what I'm going to do is go in here and get my spatula tool, which is this right here, and I'm going to go ahead and pull up my fabric. Now I could pull it up over here, but I want you to see it. Let me turn it so you can see it. And you can actually just pull this up because my mat's not real sticky, and I don't even need the spatula tool to pull it up. And look at that. Okay, it came off really nice. There's the cut piece. And then I can take the spatula, get right up under that. Okay, and I can go ahead and pull it off, and here is my cut file that I can go ahead and take this fabric back in and go ahead and finish my embroidery out. Okay, so that's how you would cut on your Scan and Cut.